And so at this point, they tell me, we are going to helicopter you on life support to UPenn. And at this point, I've never flown in a helicopter. I have flown on regular flights,
Yes.
but I've never traveled on ECMO. I was just like, what? Like, any of this, what?
Right.
But it happened,
Okay.
and they did it. And so I was helicoptered to UPenn on life support with a nurse and the pilot. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And we got there, and they got me into a room and settled, and, you know, and then we just waited.
Okay.
You know, we had been told that we had a donor, but then it didn't work out.
Yes.
So we waited some more, and then a week later, there was a donor.
There was a donor.
And it was a donor we could use. So that was very scary and exciting, and just everything at once.
That
all
had
the
to have been
emotions.
an emotional
just,
roller coaster
yeah, it's hard
at
to
that time.
describe.
Sure. Friends, we're here today. Our guest is Iannone, a double lung transplant recipient. So we're up to that point. We have a donor.
Yes.
Emotional roller coaster. Probably much after that, you probably don't remember.
Yeah, I was going to say, and
would
after
imagine.
that, it's pretty vague. But,
Yes, yes.
you know, ins and outs that I
Yes.
remember, and that's a piece of time that I'm able to share with the people that were with me, because they're able to share what was going on, and then the little memories I have, I tell them, and then they're able to help me piece it together.
Wonderful.
Which
Because that was a very important part of
Well, yeah.
everything.
Yes, it was
you
so
want to speak to
major,
that
but-
just for a second, you know, with those that were there and there.
You really can't express what it's like to go through to come that close to death.
Great point.
Because, like, what do we know about that? You know, like, what did I just never even, in my head, I guess I was going to live forever.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's really unimaginable and unfathomable, but my friends and family were there with me, and they made it okay. They made it okay for me, you know, to get through that.
Yeah.
So,
Vital.
I see that they were showing some of the pictures.
Yes.
You know, and when I look at those pictures, it's crazy to look back now at the old Lisa. I call her the old Lisa.
Yes.
Who's very sick. But in the photos, you can't always tell.
Right.
And so it's interesting for me to sit down with people with those pictures and tell them the story of them.
Yes.
Because you may see one thing, but what's going on in my head in those pictures and what I'm seeing
Totally different, I'm sure.
is totally not. Like,
Yes.
I've had people say, wow, what a stunner. You know, you look great in that picture.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, yeah, and that day, 5 minutes later, I was in the ER.
Yes.
You know, I
Yes.
just,
Yes.
looks we never know. You know, I know it's so cliche, but we have no idea what others are going through.
Absolutely.
You have no idea.
Absolutely.
So someone can put their best foot forward, and really, that I was always trying to do that, because who wants to look sick?
Sure.
Who wants to look bad?
Yes.
And so that was important to me. It was just something that was a staple for me. And so people would always say, you look great. And I'm thinking,
If you only knew.
I am like hanging on by a
Yes,
thread, people, but I'm
yes.
glad I look good. I'm glad I look good.
But boy, there's so many life lessons in the midst of that.
At so many levels,
and at so many levels, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you came through, you're able to piece it together with family and
Yes.
friends, and eventually you get your walking papers out of the hospital and such things. Can you
Unbelievable.
share a little bit about that?
Incredible.
Yeah.
The air has never been fresher. People are like, what? Really? I just kept inhaling. I mean, I was like, this air is the freshest I've ever smelled.
Yes.
This air is,
Yes.
everything
goes
is
by.
better. Yeah, with exhaust. And food carts everywhere with hot dogs. But really, it's like, I can't even explain. You've been given a second chance at life, and everything is better. It's emotional too. It's really emotional.
Yes.
And I'm still working through that.
Absolutely.
I'm a work in progress. I have no problem admitting that.
Yes, yes.
But to be given this gift from someone who you don't know, but who was selfless and said, I want to pay it forward. I want to give this gift that will give on to someone I don't even know.
Yep.
And I don't know why they'll need it, but I want them to have this.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if that doesn't move you, I don't know what's going to do it.
Right,
because
right.
and that is an incredible thing. And you feel, as the person who received it,
Yes.
I have felt guilt. I have felt thanks. I have felt gratitude. You name it. I
Yes.
felt everything.
Yes.
But I will never be able to stop giving back in some way.
Yes.
That is now my duty.
Yes.
To give back.
Yes. That's a great way of putting it, because I mean, some gifts in life that we offer, we just do it off the cuff without much thought, and it just happens, maybe by accident. But organ and tissue donation, that's intentional. I mean,
Yes.
you've got to put that in place. You've got to make a decision and put your name on the line in order for that.
It's planning ahead.
Yes.
It's as much as we as a society don't like to think about death, it's preparing and just saying, should something happen to me, I want to be in control of what happens to me.
Yes.
And I see nothing wrong with that. I think that's incredible. It's taking control of an uncontrollable situation.
Absolutely.
So it's not hard for me to talk about death, and it's not hard because this is you saying, and this is what I want.
Yes.
And so in order to be an organ donor, you have to be able to say that.
Absolutely.
And so that is a big step for people, I know.
Yeah.
But it's something to think about. If you aren't willing to, at this point, sign up. Maybe you're not ready. But think about,
Yes.
when I pass on, whatever I believe, wherever I think I may go,
Yeah.
physically, spiritually, yes, you're going to go on. You're going to, but physically, you're leaving behind yourself, and it could be useful to someone.
Yes. Yes.
And it could help them go on.
Yes.
And so why not?
Yeah.
You know, why not give that gift?
Right. Yeah.
Well, you know.
It's spiritually, and I don't want to get preaching here, but
No,
spiritually, it's to me the reason I decided to become an organ and tissue donor is stewardship. Stewardship of my body. It just seems to make a whole lot of sense, to offer to, even though in your death you can offer life.
Yes.
Spiritually, that's pretty heavy.
And you go on to that.
Absolutely.
Your
Yes.
story goes on. I feel like the person who gave these lungs goes on forever in me.
Absolutely.
I was a donor before all of this happened. I knew my lungs would be of no good to anybody.
Okay.
But it was important to me to become a donor. And so to then see how it works, being someone
Firsthand,
who checked the yes box, but then seeing how that works, it's pretty incredible.
Yes.
I know for the friends and family that were present, they're like, this was incredible how this, the time and how important timing is, and the families. You think, well, one family is losing their loved one,
Yes.
another is gaining a loved one, and it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to process.
Yes.
I know it still is for me, and but that gratitude is there. That person is here.
Yes.
And their family, you know, and I want to eventually, reach out to them. I haven't yet, but that is coming.
That is an option, though. To
It is,
you
and it's
okay.
also, the ball is in their court as well.
Okay.
It's not just sprung on them. So I will write a letter, and the hospital will hold it, And if the family feels like reaching out to
Really?
see if I've
Okay.
written, they can.
I did not know that's how that worked.
Yeah,
That
there is a, they've come up with everything in a very professional and
sounds like
appropriate way.
Yeah, very graceful way of doing that.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Lisa, I thank you for being here. I thank you for taking us through your journey so that we could see you.
you for
Usually
having me.
in these programs and such things, I share with the host, we got about 3-4 minutes left. We don't. This just flew by.
It did.
And I want to thank you for your humility. I want to thank you for continuing to live life so others can live it also, because really that's what it's all about. And the emotional, spiritual roller coaster that will probably continue to be your life will be a blessing to so many, many people. So
Thank you.
thank you for being here. I appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having me. This has
Absolutely.
been great.
Friends, thanks for joining us today, and have a wonderful week, and God bless you.